JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, manu disarmed, shot policeman at hospital, gets 22 years in prison. The prisoner who escaped custody in March after disarming and shooting a policeman at the National Chest Hospital in St. Andrew has been sentenced to serve 22 years in prison. Ricardo Richards, otherwise called Kaka, 30, was sentenced by Justice Sonia Wint-Blair in the Home Circuit Court to 22 years for wounding with intent and 13 years and 4 months each for the offences of illegal possession of firearm and robbery with aggravation. The sentences are to run at the same time, meaning he will serve 22 years. The St. Andrew mechanic had pleaded guilty on April 22. In handing down the sentence, Wint-Blair awarded the father of two a 10% discount for his early plea, noting that the evidence against him was overwhelming. He was also given a 4-month reduction as well as a 1-year deduction for the mitigating factors on each count. The judge, in considering the sentence, took into account mitigating factors such as the offender's remorse and early guilt plea and the fact that he was gainfully employed before his arrest. However, the aggravating factors against him include the fact that he planned the attack, that the police was shot while on duty, that he stole his weapon, which is still at large, and that lied about his identity when he was accosted. Anyone prepared to injure a policeman in this way must prepare for a very long time in custody, Wint-Blair said. Richards was taken to hospital on March 12 by 3 cops to undergo medical procedure. His handcuffs were then unlocked for the procedure to be done. On completion, before the cops could put back on the handcuffs, Richards threw a liquid into the eyes of one of the police personnel. A tussle ensued, and he took the gun off one of the cops, shooting him in his stomach before fleeing with the gun. He was recaptured a week later at a guest house in St. Andrew and gave the police a wrong name. "My boss, them think they rehearse and execute, but me never want kill the policeman," he told police investigators while giving a caution statement. The court today heard that the policeman's spine was fractured. Before the incident, Richards had been in police custody awaiting trial for murder. Attorney at law Ernest Davis represented Richards. 11-year-old among 3 shot in Rosetown, Kingston. An 11-year-old child was among 3 persons shot in Rosetown, Kingston on Wednesday. One of the victims, 23-year-old Ricardo Williams, died from bullet wounds. The other 3 persons were reportedly shot about 4 p.m. Williams was pronounced dead at hospital and the child and the other victim admitted. 2 shot, 1 fatally in alleged confrontation with police in Kingston. 2 men were shot during an alleged confrontation with the police in Kingston on Friday morning. One of the men has died. The other is nursing bullet wounds at hospital. The incident happened shortly after 1:30 in the vicinity of East Street and Water Lane in the Kingston Central Police Division. The Policia Browning 9mm pistol was seized. 4 injured in JUTC bus and car crash in Lakespen, St. Catherine. 4 persons were rushed to hospital following a motor vehicle crash along the Lakespen Road in the vicinity of the Wysinco plant in Lakespen, St. Catherine on Friday morning. The crash, which involved a bus belonging to the state-owned Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, and a white station wagon motor car, occurred at around 8:25, a policeman on the scene said. "I was told that 4 persons were taken to hospital," the officer said. The conditions of the injured persons are not known at this time, but blood was seen inside the car. A man who claimed to have been an eyewitness to the collision said the car was attempting to overtake the bus as it was turning off the main road. The car, which ended up being pinned between the bus and some trees, was extensively damaged to the front and the left passenger side. 3 men from different parishes charged with $3 million sent best robbery. The St. Elizabeth police have arrested and charged 3 men with several offences, which were committed in the parish on Friday, July 2, including shopbreaking, larceny, receiving stolen property, and conspiracy to commit shopbreaking and larceny. The accused men are 25-year-old Kevin Thomas, otherwise called Kev, a labourer of Pink Lane in Kingston; 27-year-old Orlando Richards, otherwise called Cruz, a mason of Greenvale, Manchester; and 47-year-old Tristan Smith, a security guard of New Building, Nain in St. Elizabeth. Reports are that about 2:20 p.m., Thomas, Richards, and Smith and several other men allegedly broke into a business establishment by prying the shutter open and stole several items, including cellular phones, cellular phone accessories, and tablets, amounting to approximately $3 million. the police were summoned, and a vehicle in which the men were traveling was intercepted. Thomas and Richards were accosted while Smith escaped. Smith was later apprehended in an operation. The men were charged on Tuesday, July 6. Their court date is being finalized by the police. Crimes down in Manchester, police say. The Manchester police are reporting reductions in 5 categories of major crimes up to July 8 this year in comparison with the similar period last year. Superintendent Gary Francis, head of the Manchester Police, told the monthly sitting of the parish's municipal corporation yesterday that the category of murders among the categories which recorded reductions. There's a 43% reduction in murders, with 12 recorded in the parish since the start of this year, in comparison to 21 for the corresponding period last year, where there's a 16% reduction in shootings, with 16 cases recorded so far, in comparison to 19 for the corresponding period last year. There's a 25% reduction in reported cases of rape, and a 35% reduction in aggravated assault, and a 12% reduction in break-ins, said Francis. He said 16 more robberies and 7 more cases of bridal larceny were recorded in comparison to last year. Meanwhile, Francis said there's an ongoing collaboration with stakeholders, including the municipal corporation, in granting permits for parties in Manchester. Any events where loud music and loud noise can be heard within 100 meters needs an application to be made to the superintendent of police. There's a collaboration between a number of entities now with the COVID protocols, he said. The entertainment sector was reopened on July 1 under new measures, including for small indoor events held in a covered area with controlled entry. The government has put a cap on the number of persons who can attend these events, which is to be determined as 60% of the usable square footage, not including bathrooms and kitchens, divided by 40 square feet, which is a social distancing provision, or 100 people, whichever is lower. Mayor of Mandeville Donovan Mitchell, meanwhile, reiterated that permission is needed for the hosting of events. I just want to also advise that on the matter of persons having these parties, day raves, night raves, and all sort of raves, that permission is needed from both the municipal corporation and the police for the events to take place, said Mitchell. Homeless shelter to be built in Falmouth. Local Government and Rural Development Minister Desmond McKenzie broke ground for the construction of a state-of-the-art homeless shelter in Falmouth, Trelawney on Thursday. The facility, which will be built at a cost of $25 million, will have the capacity to house 20 people. The shelter, the first of its kind outside the corporate area, will provide temporary shelter, meals and bathroom amenities for the approximately 25 homeless people in the parish. It is slated for completion by the end of 2021. With the knowledge that there are more than 3,000 homeless people across the island, Mackenzie reaffirmed the government's commitment to the homeless population through the continued provision of holistic care and development of appropriate infrastructure to accommodate them. We are doing this because it is our responsibility. Many of these persons have contributed significantly to the growth and development of Jamaica, but something went wrong along the way, he said. Our response to the homeless population has been wide. We have partnered with Red Stripe, LASCO, Grace Kennedy, and will continue to partner with the churches and the private sector to provide a basis for these people to survive, Mackenzie added. He announced that an additional 8 homeless shelters will be built across the island within the next 2 years. For her part, Member of Parliament for Trelawney South and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Marisol Dalrymple Philibert, welcomed the move to build the facility in the parish. The government continues to place emphasis on the less fortunate in the population, the people who cannot afford to make the plans they need to. We thank the government for caring and for putting their words into action and demonstrating that we do care for all Jamaicans, particularly those of us who are less fortunate, she said. Jamaica records 71 new COVID cases, 3 deaths. Jamaica recorded 71 new cases of COVID-19 and 3 additional deaths yesterday. This brings the total number of confirmed cases in the island to 50,568, of which 12,216 are active. The deaths of a 79-year-old man from St. Elizabeth, a 52-year-old man from St. Anne, and a 66-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew brings the toll to 1,111. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, of the 71 newly reported cases, there were 43 females and 28 males, with ages ranging from 6 to 94 years. 22 of the cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 12 in Westmoreland, 10 in St. Anne, and 9 in St. Catherine. St. James and Manchester recorded 5 cases each, while Hanover recorded 4, St. Thomas 3, and Clarendon 1. The country also recorded 1,105 new patient recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 36,882. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.